What is going on, guys? This is the Inside the Blue podcast, episode 28, and we're breaking down the New York Yankees against the Oakland Athletics recap episode. As we look at this, the Yankees took 2 out of 3. They got the job done, and that's the big thing about this. And also, Domingo Germán in Game 2 threw a no-hitter and a perfect game. You love to see it from Domingo Germán. You know, the last 2 starts previously were bad. You know, Domingo Germán did not have his stuff. The curveball wasn't working at all, and that's his best pitch. You know, his curveball is his best pitch, and he wasn't it. And now he comes into Oakland, and he dominated. You know, obviously, no-hitter, perfect game. This guy shoved, and he needed it. You know, he needed a bounce-back start. You know, we thought it was going to be after the first bad one, but, 2 bad ones, third time, it worked out. Perfect game, no-hitter, amazing stuff. And, another thing is for Domingo Germán is, with this type of start, does this kind of solidify him as the number 5 starter? When Carlos Rodon and, everybody's back, right? That's the big question. Does Clark Schmidt go to the bullpen? We don't know. But, I mean, this is something special. And, this is the 4th in Yankee history, of course. And Kyle Higashioka has now caught 2 no-hitters. Firstly, he caught, Corey Kluber's in Texas. And now Domingo Germán in Oakland. But now we get to game number 1. Yankees lose 2-1. Offense was brutal. And, the Yankees offense has not been great. It's been below average, to be honest, according to, the statistics. It's been, ranked towards, 27th, 28th in some categories. Just not good for the brand. And the Yankees, are usually, a team that, likes to score runs. But, of course, those runs are, provided off the home run ball, and you're not playing at Yankee Stadium every single game. The ball travels differently in different parks, and the Yankees they need to find ways, hit it in the gaps, just play simple baseball, even, just moving the runner over and scoring them, but it just has not been the same. The Yankees losing 2-1 to a bad team. This is a team that you look at and you say we should be able to take 2 out of 3 at least, bare minimum. And yes, they did. They did do that. And sweeping is not easy to do. But you look at this, what is this type of offense without Aaron Judge? It's not good. It's not good at all. When Aaron Judge is in the lineup, the stats are good. Aaron Judge, of course, re-signed in the offseason to that mega deal. And, he gets injured from the toe injury. And he's been out for a while now, and he's going to be out for a long time due to that toe injury. I'm pretty sure he tore a ligament as well. So, of course, best, safe recoveries for Aaron Judge, and the Yankees need him badly. And, another question I have is this a punch to the front office? The Yankees didn't do virtually anything to upgrade their offense. Yes, they re-signed Anthony Rizzo. Yes, they got Aaron Judge back, the main priority. Yes. And, of course, another big signing to get Carlos Rodon. But, am I mad that they got Rodon? No. But did they necessarily need him over the offense? The offense should have been the main priority. Getting Aaron Judge and building around him. They got Anthony Rizzo. Sick. He's been pretty darn good this year. But get more good players. I would have thought, they got him. I'm not mad they got Rodon at all. He's a great pitcher. I just, I didn't think they would have just stopped after getting Aaron Judge. I thought they would, be motivated to get more solid players and beef up the offense into a powerhouse. Because their bullpen and pitching, it's a powerhouse. It's tough to hit against them. They're one of the best bullpens and, rotations in the league, right? And, when Rodon gets back, of course, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be pumped up that Rodon is, pitching. And he's set to return against the Orioles. Pretty sure July 7th is his estimated first start. And that's huge. He's playing good in the, in the small ball. Which is good to see. His fastball looks good. But I think, the main priority was to get hitting and get better at hitting. And, we looked at the offense in the postseason. It was not great. They nearly lost the series to the Guardians. And another thing is, yes, they got Aaron Judge. But this can't be a one-man show, right? You look at the, Los Angeles Angels. They got Mike Trout. They got Shohei Ohtani. Two of the best players in the league. And two of the best offensive players in the league. Have they made the playoffs? No. Do we want to see them make the playoffs? Sure. I think it would be great for baseball. From a baseball perspective, from a marketing perspective, if you get Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in the postseason, that's electric. I mean, how far they go, who knows? But the Yankees can only rely on Aaron Judge for so much. Listen, Aaron Judge is a great player. He's a freak of nature. But the Yankees need to build around him better. Scoring one run against the Oakland Athletics is just unacceptable. Yes, I'm very happy that what we're getting to now is Game 2. Now, things are getting nice. No-hitter. Perfect game. Domingo Germán gets it done. Is it against the Athletics? Yeah. Do I care? No. It's a baseball team. You threw a perfect game against a professional baseball team. That's something special. That's huge for the team, and that's huge for Domingo Germán. Could this get them going? Could this get the Yankees going against, a bad St. Louis team? Regardless, the curveball was on. Everything in his arsenal was electric. Pumping fastballs, throwing curveballs, making them swing. They look silly. They made the A's look silly. And if the A's were already at rock bottom, now to throw a perfect game against them is truly, the end. Another thing is, the Yankees gave him 11 runs of insurance. It wasn't like Germán was going to blow the thing. I did get a little worried. I will admit, from the no-hitter perfect game, I did get a little worried when they scored, 6 runs in the 5th. Listen, am I happy they scored 6 runs in that 5th? Yeah. But I think the main story was how far was Domingo Germán going to take this no-hitter / perfect game. Right. And, they score 6 runs. I think it was like I don't know what. I was watching the game on the radio. I think it was like a 20, 30-minute inning. That's a long time for a pitcher to rest, and I think he eventually went to the bullpen through, a few pitches, and then eventually he obviously got back on the mound because, the Yankees finally stopped scoring. But another, I've been talking to Domingo Germán now. Another guy that's been heating up is Anthony Volpe. Small sample size, but in the last 5 games alone, Anthony Volpe has batted .471, an on-base percentage of .526, and an OPS of over 1. That's elite, and 2 doubles. 2 doubles. So, extra base hits are nice. Anthony Volpe stealing some bags, playing a lot better baseball, 3 weeks ago, people were asking to trade this guy down. I wasn't always on that train. Yes. Was he struggling? Yes. There's a lot of pressure in New York. It's not easy to play in New York. Look at, Joey Gallo, Aaron Hicks, and some other players. They couldn't, take New York. And I think Anthony Volpe is starting to see the ball well. And, thanks to Austin Wells. Right? Thanks to Austin Wells and the chicken parm. Because Austin Wells found one little critique in his game. And look at him now. He's starting to hit the ball really well and hard. These are not soft hits. These are These are hits in the gap, right? Um, like it's pretty special for Anthony Volpe because he's a guy that his name was getting thrown around. When are they gonna send him down? He sucks. He's a bust. All this talk about Anthony Volpe, and now things are starting to change. People are starting to head on to the Anthony Volpe kid. He's something special, and Anthony Volpe has really started to heat his bat up. And listen, I always have loved Anthony Volpe ever since his first at bat in the majors. He's something special, man. There's a reason why Cashman held on to him. Anthony Volpe could be on the Reds right now. The Reds asked for Anthony Volpe in exchange for Luis Castillo. The Yankees declined it. They were not giving up Anthony Volpe for any player. A ton of people were asking about Anthony Volpe. When are they, can we have him? Cashman kept saying no, ending calls early. Sorry about that. Alright, let's get back to game number 3. Game 3. Clarke Schmidt gets the ball. What are we thinking? What type of Clarke Schmidt are we going to get? Are we going to get the Clarke Schmidt that goes 5 innings plus? Solid play? Are we going to get three innings out of Clarke? Listen, he wasn't great. He was decent. But the Yankees still put up 10 runs. Right? The Yankees put up double digits. And usually when you put up double digits, you're going to win the game. Right? And this is huge. This is huge for the offense especially. Let's talk about the offense. The Yankees' offense, of course, as I previously mentioned, have been bad. It has not been an amazing offense, right? Without Aaron Judge, it's a big hole. You can't fill the shoes of Aaron Judge on the team. There's not one player that compares to Aaron Judge. And, speaking of that, the closest you can get is to Giancarlo Stanton. He's a guy that has put up a ton of home runs, elite stuff, but he hasn't been the same. He's been injured. We needed a healthy Giancarlo Stanton because I think at the start he was playing good until he got that injury. I think it was a hamstring injury. He was playing solid ball. And then he gets injured. Then he gets injured again. And then he looks like a completely different player. But, he goes 2 for 3 in game 2. Huge. Huge for Giancarlo Stanton. Right? He hits a long home run off, I think it was J.P. Sears, I want to say. Former Yankee, of course. But that was in game 2. We're talking about game 3. Okay. And Giancarlo Stanton, this is good for his start. It's a good start. But he's got to keep it going, right? He's got to keep the ball moving, and he's got to just keep putting the ball in play and getting hits. Just keep on getting hits, or even if that, just getting on base, right? Getting on base, helping this team out. Because he's probably one of the main factors that the Yankees need to produce right now. Him, Donaldson, LeMahieu. Those are a few guys that have not been spectacular. LeMahieu's bat, it's cold, and when it's cold, it's really cold. But when his bat is hot, he can go on for like a 10-game hitting streak. But regardless, the Yankees need to bring it against the St. Louis Cardinals team. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough season for the St. Louis Cardinals. Bottom of the division, you should definitely take 2 out of 3 minimum. If you're having a 3-game series, have to take 2 out of 3. I also think Nolan Arenado's not even playing that series. So there goes their best offensive producer. They still have some good players, of course, but he's the main target. Of course, they got Paul Goldschmidt, he's always a killer. He's one of the best in his position. Of course, they got Wilson Contreras. They got some good players over there, but they have not been great. They have not had a great season. And it kind of shocked me, you know. I thought the St. Louis Cardinals were, you know, going to be a decent team. But, of course, after losing in the playoffs last year, things have only gone downhill, right? And, you know, there's a lot to look forward for this Yankees squad. Bullpens look great. Pitching has looked great. Just need that offense to start producing more. You know, 20-plus runs against the A's in 3 games should happen all the time. You should be scoring at least 6 runs a game. You know, is that too much to ask? 5, 6 runs a game? You should be putting that up. Not 3 runs, not 2 runs, not 1 run. 1 run will never win you a game. And yes, it did win them a game against, I think it was the Texas Rangers. That's just because of your pitching. You know? Your pitching just dominated. Clay Holmes has been amazing. Michael King has cooled down. You know? Nick Ramirez, he's been okay. You know, he's been solid. The Yankees bullpen has been great. And, you know, another thing I haven't even touched on yet is apparently I've seen it across, you know, the Yankees a bit. And even last year about Juan Soto potentially being a Yankee. Padres have been struggling, but they're a team that could just swing it around in the next week and, you know, the Padres are back, right? But they keep continuing to play bad. And, you know, it hits trade deadline. It hits the day of the trade deadline. And you see their GM go out and say, Juan Soto is available. The Yankees better be the first caller and acquire him before anyone else does. Because Juan Soto is a postseason performer. The Yankees need postseason performers. They need offense. They need elite hitting. Juan Soto can do that for you. Juan Soto is an elite baseball player. He's won a ring already with the 2019 Nationals. He beat the Astros. The Yankees haven't beat the Astros in the postseason. It's been bad. You know, the Houston Astros have owned the Yankees in the postseason. Okay, we're you know, scratch, you know, the cheating. The cheating. Other than that, last season, you got swept. Like, you know, that was not a good series. You know, the other time, like, every time they've played the Astros, in my time, they've lost. Right? But we hope Aaron Judge returns. You know, he's going to return this season. It's just when. When are you going to get Aaron Judge back? I want him back soon. I want him back tomorrow. You know? But obviously, we're going to have to wait for Aaron Judge. And I want him at 100%. I don't want him at 90%. I don't want him at 95%, 98%. I want him at a full 100%. And I think that's why the Yankees are taking their time. I feel like the Yankees already know they're going to make the playoffs, right? They probably already know. Whatever our record is, I know we're going to make the playoffs. We're probably not going to catch the Rays, but we're going to make the playoffs. That's probably what they're thinking right now. And, I mean, I think the Yankees can make the playoffs. You know, I haven't even touched on this. Domingo Germán threw a perfect game. The last time the Yankees threw a perfect game, they won the World Series. Am I guaranteeing on this channel, on this podcast, that they're going to win the World Series? No. But I believe it. I hope they do. You know, New York sports in general haven't won a ring of any sort since, I think, the 2011 Giants. Right? They got close in 2014 with my New York Rangers. They lost to the Kings. You know, they've had, you know, the teams have made the playoffs. The Knicks made the playoffs. I don't talk about the Knicks. The Knicks made the playoffs. The Rangers made the playoffs. You know, the Islanders have made the playoffs. You know, the Giants made the playoffs last year. Did I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, because they got to go through Patrick Mahomes. But we're talking about the Yankees. Yankees haven't won a World Series in a long time. But if Juan Soto is available, trade deadline, get him. Or if the Padres decide to turn it up, they start winning, you know, series, and they start getting back to 500, they make a wild card, and he's available in free agency, Perfect. You don't have to give up anything except for money. And I know the Yankees can afford Juan Soto. And imagine that. Juan Soto, Harrison Bader in center, and Aaron Judge. I mean, that's an elite. That's an elite outfield. And then you address third base. What are you going to do for third base? Is it going to be DJ LeMahieu? It's going to be Josh Donaldson. But listen, we are in this season. We're not talking about the offseason. What's going on? Because I'm focused on now. I think the Yankees are going to go on a tear right now. This has been episode 28 of the Inside the Booth podcast. Hope you guys have been loving the content. Of course, click that notification whenever I upload. And of course, subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. Inside the Booth podcast. This has been your host, Vin. We're talking about the New York Yankees. And this has been me talking about them, breaking down the A's recap. Yanks take on the Cardinals now. Gonna be a huge series for the fellas. Of course, let's go Yanks. And as always, stay safe out there. Peace.